Yeah, all good. Okay, all very good indeed. Yes, indeed, folks. G'day again on a Monday night or a Monday morning, afternoon, wherever you are, around this big, wide, adventurous planet we call Mother Earth. Now, some people have come out and said it's maybe flat or not round or oval. I think it was some movie stars put their head up and said that it was that cricketer, ex-cricketer, one of your mob, Edward. We'll get to you in a second. He's Freddie Flintoff reckons the world is flat. So wherever you are in this big flat world, my name's Keithy Broom. I'm in Brisbane in Australia. I've got the fan going because it's 7 o'clock at night. It's about 24 degrees, 25 degrees. It's that hot outside. My two dogs are flat out on the deck, asleep. I should have locked them in there, but they're virtually unconscious because of the heat. So it's another fantastic evening on our Swiss Gold Global Australia live hangout. And what a great panel we've got tonight. We've got the owner of the company, Bill Rowell. We've got our presidential affiliate, Claudia Eifert. She's in, Bill's in Switzerland, Claudia's in Germany. And we've got a new guest on tonight, Edward Kite. Now, he's in the UK, just temporarily. He's going back to Japan, I believe, next week. So I'll just say g'day to you, Edward. It's been a little while since I've had a chat to you. I know you're in Swiss Gold Global and going well, and you're the master of making up funnels and everything. So what's your relationship with how long you've been with Swiss Gold Global? I know at the start, without interrupting you, that you sort of didn't do anything. And a lot of people do that. They just join and don't do anything. And then they work out, oh, hang on a minute, this is a real company. And then you started. So go ahead, mate. Welcome on the panel.
Thanks a lot, Keithy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good, all good, all good. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I absolutely. I joined in December last year, and I didn't really understand it, to be honest. And the reason why I didn't understand it because I wasn't really into cryptocurrency, and I certainly wasn't really understanding precious metals or anything like that, to be honest. So it was a bit over my head. So I didn't do anything for about 6 months, and I started realizing, yes, as you say, it is a real company and a great one at that. I didn't doubt that, to be honest. But as I say, it was my thing. It was a problem with understanding cryptocurrency and mining and precious metal and all those sort of things. And managing my own money. I mean, I wasn't very good at managing my own money, to be honest. So yeah, then. Six months later, I had it all explained to me very well by my sponsor, and that's when things really turned around for me. So in that situation right now, just get with your sponsor and have it explained to you in a simple way, and I think that's what happened to me, and the rest is history, really.
Now, what's your main business forte? You've got your own company where you make up funnels, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
And you've used your funnel business and you've promoted Swiss Gold Global. And how's that sort of working personally for you?
Yeah, well, I've built a lot of systems, marketing systems of different sort of different kinds. And I've got a system that works, helps, my team with Swiss Gold Global build funnels that they can brand, and it helps them. They don't need to do anything, sort of thing. They don't need to do all the technical side. And they don't need to worry about autoresponders and that sort of thing. So it has a very easy way to sort of get set up and it gets started. But on a personal level, I tend to focus on YouTube a lot. So I like to do YouTube. I've got when you upload YouTube videos, sometimes they go well, sometimes they don't go so well. But I have a very surprise. I don't know how it happened, but I do have a video that suddenly went a bit viral, and that one video is just brings in an average about 2 or 3 days into Swiss Gold Global. They don't always do that much when they get in, and you try and get in touch with them, but but they think that a lot of people think that it's a get rich quick scheme at first, but you've got to try and get with people to really sort of pin them down and say, look, no, this is a real business. This is what you got to do, and then I try and get them into my marketing funnel so they can watch videos and get set up that way. It's just a system, basically.
Yeah. All right. Very, very good, mate. That's awesome. Thank you and welcome, Edward. It's great to have you on the panel. We'll get a bit of more insight as we go along. Now, Bill and Claudia both got meetings to go to, so we've got limited time with them, so we really appreciate your time. Claudia, it's morning time, and you're in Germany, yes?
Yes, and you know how much I love my mornings.
Yeah, yes, that's right. So, where are you going? You're going to Frankfurt for a meeting.
Yeah, I'm going to Frankfurt for a meeting. Somebody from UK actually coming and meeting me. So in Frankfurt. So yeah, I'm having actually at the stock exchange. So I'm gonna probably do a funny video there on the stock exchange, because while these guys were waiting for the greatest investment of the year, I think we have just had the best ride in the whole year, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And Ethereum, I was talking to Bill before you went live. What's happening with Ethereum? You love Ethereum because you told me it'll go to $1,000. It's already heading to 470, 480. Fantastic.
Well, it had to, because when you see, of course, what Bitcoin did and the fundamentals, when you look at, Ethereum, every other coin which is coming out is sort of running on the Ethereum platform, and Ethereum didn't have that run the last few months like Bitcoin had. So it's just logically that it had to eventually, break out. And certainly they had a big Ethereum conference going, which is usually when there are things happening. And yeah, it's again consolidating right now. But again, we don't want to trade. Like I'm yes, I'm following traders. And yes, I do understand a little bit of fundamentals there, but I'm having it for the long term. I'm big bullish on Ethereum, so as you know.
Yeah, fantastic. I just bought 5 Ethereum contracts today. I'm just building and building. I want to get hundreds and hundreds of contracts there, because it's, as Bill's favourite word, do nothing with Swiss Gold Global. Well, we don't do anything, Bill, but you're on the other end of that question, that you're doing everything for us, mate. And got to say it openly that we really appreciate the time and effort that you put into not only your own business and as an owner, to see you sort of out there all the time. You know what I mean? You do your own hangouts during the week. You jump on mine when you can. You're always responding to posts and comments. You must have a phenomenal work rate, mate. And to keep it up for 9 years, that's what a lot of people, I'm trying to personally get through to them, that, hey, listen, this business has been going around for 9 years and the owner is working flat out every single day of the week. You don't get that anywhere. It's, and like you said, we're a little bit under the radar. I think you said that a couple of weeks ago. So thanks for coming on, Bill. A couple of questions to throw at you. First off, how's things going? A lot happening with Genesis with their contracts. As soon as they put them up, they get sold out. So what's the latest there, mate?
Well, it's great to be back on the call with you, Keithy, and I appreciate you say that I work hard. I think it's all about working smarter, to be quite honest, and managing one's time. And I appreciate Claudia. I know that she works exceptionally long hours, works smart, and Edward as well. So all the leaders such as yourselves, this is where the key is. It's a club, it's a network with a similar vision of supporting each other. While you're in a heat wave, I'm going to show you where I am, Keithy, because it's damn cold here. And, let me see. Actually, snowed the last couple of days. I don't know if you can see that, can you see that?
Yeah, we can see that. Your signal's sort of dropping in about. That's snow, mate. Oh my God.
Good air for the lungs. But anyway, getting back onto the important stuff, perfect climate for mining. You want to have some rigs
absolutely
out there, Keithy.
You probably I hope you've got all your spare bedrooms full of machines, rigs going, have you?
No, in this part of the world, electricity is too expensive, but the temperature would be okay, of course. Yeah, there's a lot happening. You mentioned, Ethereum and Gladia did as well, and you bought some more contracts today. Just touching on that, people are driven by the exchange rate. At the moment, we measure things in value compared to the US dollar or the British pound or the Australian dollar. That's a bit delusional in one sense, unless you're intending, of course, to liquidate your crypto back into a fiat currency so you can buy your shopping and stuff like that. But primarily, it's what that unit can buy. This is where people get lost on gold. We measure gold against the US dollar or currencies, and of course, if it goes up or down, they think that the gold is actually, it's strong or it's weak. In fact, all it is just an exchange rate of the US dollar currency varying against a particular unit, which is either gold, silver, or cryptocurrency. So for me, I'm not so fussed about the dollar price because I'm in a position, and I suppose many of you people are as well. You want to actually try and accumulate as many of these crypto coins as possible. Take some profits where it's needed, of course, because you have to live and pay the bills. But I think it's great to accumulate as much of a basket of different cryptocurrencies that you can actually have. In fact, there was a great interview from one of the founders of the Pirate Party in, I think it's Sweden, somewhere in Scandinavia. He branded himself as the CEO of Bitcoin. Which one is it? Claudia, Bitcoin Classic or something? Forgotten it now. Anyway, it's a very, very good interview to listen to. He'll give you some very good insights. He addresses all of the objections and questions very, very, very well. And he'll give you some real ideas how powerful this tool of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology that you have in your hands. The mining, yeah, I mean, mining is a variable thing. I mean, it's huge. In fact, I'm going to be in Munich. Claudia's going to be there as well. We've got some people flying in from the US. We've got our chief IT engineer flying in as well. We're going to be meeting with the Genesis team Thursday and Friday this week again. Running there last week or the week before. I lost track of time now. So we're going to be back there again meeting with these people. They are very, very supportive. You know, they are the real deal. Their heart is in the right place. They have a vision. They're a $1 billion company. Just think that you've partnered up with a $1 billion company, Genesis Mining. I mean, and actually a legal one. I'm not talking one that's going to be here and take people's money and disappear the next weeks or months. This is a sustainable business model company that owns their own power substations as well. So they are significant. Now, try and partner up with some of the big companies on the stock exchange. Or go and partner up with some big banks. Try and do that. It's just the average Joe Blow. As we say down under, Keithy, it wouldn't be possible. So what you have, if you really realize and grasp the power that you have at your fingertips here, it's absolutely awesome. It does, as Edward said, it requires understanding. I was also a late adopter towards cryptocurrency. Claudia wasn't, but I certainly was because I couldn't touch it, I couldn't see it. Therefore, I didn't really believe it. Just wanted, what's this digital stuff? Because I'm not a digital guy. Therefore, I don't necessarily understand it. So it took me a while to get my head around it, but once I grasped the concept that Bitcoin is really a peer-to-peer payment system, it's really gold 2.0, I mean, wow. I wish Claudia had hit me with a piece of 4B2 about 4 years ago. I would have woken up a bit quicker on the concept, Keithy. So on the contract side, yes, Genesis have removed their pre-sale. We still have ours available. They've been very, very gracious and transparent. I mean, they've issued us X amount of X factor of petahash, which is absolutely significant for our members. We've restricted it on the customer side to actually give our affiliates first preference. And of course, it's our priority to look after our affiliates, of course, and also our customers. But we want to be fair. We have many people coming in with significant amount of money, you know, 6 figures, sometimes getting up towards 7 figures, wanting to buy. They don't want to do the affiliate side, which is okay. That's part of our model. But if we let them in the door as a customer just to buy it, I mean, that would sabotage and would not do the right thing to our people who want to buy $30 contracts or $100 contracts and compound. So I'm very conscious about this. But we're not after, I'm not worried about that big money coming in. It's going to come in anyway. But I'd rather do it on a spread, servicing many people around the world and looking after the normal people, all of us, rather than just 1 or 2, you know, the 1% that may have the big dollars. So that's really the philosophy of where we come from. Now, when this mining goes live, end of February, the start of March, you know, we're going to get a bit more of a roadmap where the next mining is going to come from, okay? But to set up a mining farm, there's many variables to that. One is you've got to be regulated in that particular jurisdiction. You've got to have approval. 2, the electricity price has to be sustainable and has to be at the right price. A big, big, big factor. Fortunately, Genesis, with the size and their capacity and their contacts as well, they're able to actually do that, which is really good. The fit out, the availability of ASIC miners and things like that. I mean, they primarily buy them all up from the market anyway. But there's a huge lag. I mean, in the last 6 months, I've seen many, many people around the world getting onto the mining bandwagon in one sense because there's a lot of money involved in it. So, of course, demand and supply rules the game. Now, our members sometimes get a bit frustrated with us because one time we say, this is available for you. You can have unlimited contracts on customer, unlimited contracts as an affiliate. and the next minute you look in there and it's no longer the case. This is because the demand and supply is unpredictable. We open the door up, it's like having a hotel, which I used to own many years ago in Melbourne, of course, had 4 hotels down there. You open the door up and you think it's a Monday, it's going to be a quiet day, and you have 400 people walk in the door and you've got 2 staff to deal with it, and you just can't keep up with the demand. Well, this is really the situation with mining as well. Mining is, we have X amount of mining available. It's not a fuel tank that's unlimited. Has a limited capacity on the pre-sale, and to manage that legally and correctly as well. So that needs to be managed thoroughly and responsibly, because we don't want to be in a position to be able to selling things that we don't have. We've seen before historically companies claim they have this and claim they have that. Personally, I question it, given the demand in the world right now with Bitcoin mining and Genesis' position is number 1 in this region. I really would question these, because these companies are not transparent. Number 1, they are not transparent. And,
that came up in the Genesis on Twitter a couple of days ago. They pointed that very thing out you've just said, Bill, that some companies were claiming to be in association with them, and that actually hadn't bought equipment, or they hadn't been part of their business at all, and were asking them to take their name down on that particular company's website. So our relationship, I guess you're saying, is with Genesis is solid, and face to face, you have an agreement with them. So we're in a good situation with this great company, Genesis.
Well, it's about building trust, isn't it, Keithy? I mean, one thing I've learned from business, I've been in business, self-employed entrepreneur since 1986, which is a long time now, Yeah. One thing I've learned is that good business people want to have good, trustful business people to work with as well. I get messages every day, do you want to white label this? We can do that for you. We can do this for you. I mean, our company is the one that bears all the regulatory risk, whether it's precious metals, even on the side, of course, with the relationship with Genesis. So why would I want to put that? Why would I want to put your business at jeopardy because of a few extra dollars by splitting up the company and sharing out a white label to some other concept? My job is to make sure that we pay you, that we deliver you products and services, and we are there on a sustainable level. That's really what my job is to do. Your job is to get the word out, and for that we pay you for doing that.
Yeah, for sure. That's one question did come up. What's the assurance that Swiss Gold Global pre-sale contracts will actually be paid on the 28th of February onwards? Now, Genesis did have them at a new batch at the 15th of March. They sold out. That's no longer available on their website. So out of stock. The stock available on our website is the 15th of March, which means we've sold out of the 20th of February, and that new batch they've reserved a little bit for us, that we're there. One of the members, and I guess people come into our business having been experienced with a lot of instability of other companies that have been around for a year or 2 years or 3 years, which has tended to be the trend for just about everybody watching here. And I know quite a few of the people watching that are commenting, and I know they've had the experience of the businesses they've been in collapsing, owners taking off with money, not paying. These businesses have only been around for a short period of time, in the 2 or 3 years at best. Now you've been going 9 years, so your relationship with Genesis, they're going to start paying on the 28th for the contracts that we've got. So that's I'm presuming that's a given from your side.
Yeah, well, let's be reasonable here. We're dealing with a disruptive technology, and we're not talking about. First of all, we're not talking about a rev share company that guarantees 1 or 2% per day. We're not making unsubstantiated claims, which mathematically just cannot be sustainable. It's total BS. And people who get into that get in for the quick buck, and of course, eventually might get a few dollars, but eventually they're going to get their pants burnt. That's just the way it is. Okay. Now with us, we don't make those claims. What we are saying is we sold the first contracts, which Genesis said would be available for mining on the 28th. Now, on their business management, I would assume, and I know they've allowed probably a 20-25% time margin to make sure they get that right. Because there's many variables. We're not talking about a digital thing that doesn't exist. It's easy to sell something that doesn't exist in a Ponzi, but to actually build a mining farm which costs tens upon tens of millions of dollars, and so many variables that can interfere and put you out a month, put you out even 2 months, can happen very, very easily. So yes, there can be variables. Now, so if Genesis put out the date on the 28th, I'm pretty sure, very, very sure that they'll be able to meet that date in the first level of contracts. Now, the second level of contracts, they've said 2 weeks later. Okay. Now, we're going to be pushing, of course, to get them all payable on the 28th of February. But if it's the 15th of March, so be it. This is the business model we are in, and people need to understand that. They need to understand what they're getting themselves engaged in. Bitcoin touching on $9,700. We started, Keithy, when it was around $550, $600 a Bitcoin. I mean, wow. So people are getting on the bandwagon. They see the wealth. They see they can make 3-4 times the money in the first year. So the greed factor, the emotion of greed kicks in hugely. And sometimes when the greed factor kicks in, we don't think so much. We don't do our due diligence. Like Edward did his due diligence. He wasn't sure, so he didn't get engaged. He did his research. You got to explain to him. He got in the door. You need to do your due diligence as well. You need to do your due diligence. Who is Doral? Who is Swiss Gold Global? Are they the real deal? You should question us. You should question Genesis. Now, you're going to find negative things on the web about them. When you have a $1 billion company with over 1 million members, you know, you're going to have situations. Yes, well, this person wasn't paid because of, it could be many factors. It can be the mempool. It can be a reporting issue on the IT side. But I can guarantee you that one thing, and that is that Genesis, I know these guys, they're not there to run off of someone's dollars. They will pay out. Yes, there's IT issues at times and technical issues, server overloads like we experienced a few weeks ago. We had many issues. We're still auditing our systems as we speak right now because of the server overload, not just our server, their server. Then we had Bitcoin payment transaction company also having a bit of overload on their server. So there's multiple factors behind the layers that you actually see that can cause issues, which cause things to break. You know, I said to someone, support sent me an email the other day, and you know, we endeavour to get back to our support emails in 24 hours, but at the moment it's a bit under the pump. It may be 48 to 72 hours, but we do our best there. You have to be patient with us. But someone sent through one. It was a pretty hit-on thing. You know, it hadn't been paid on a certain day. I think the reward would have been $5 or something. And I just said, I did something for support and said, listen, tell the person we're not going to run off with his $5. You know, we're not going to put our name at jeopardy because of one day payment where he's missing $4.70 or $5. Let's get things in perspective here. But of course, we understand that there is issues there. At times they're going to pop up. They're going to be resolved. It's going to take time. But this is fantastic when you're in a market which is so dynamic, so fast, and so much demand right now. There's going to be issues, and as long as you understand that, if you've got the entrepreneurial heart and the fight within your heart, you'll get that. And but that doesn't stop you from questioning us. It's very important to question us to make sure that we are the real deal, and you can be very direct with us. I have no problem with that.
Well, that's the reason I get you on, Bill, to ask you a few direct questions, and yours come back to your credit with direct answers, and that's what people that are watching now on the recording, and that's why anyone who's watching right now should be sharing this on your own timeline, so that your people in your team get to hear from the owner directly. And that's the best thing about you and the business, Bill, is that you are direct and to the point, and that erases all these $4.70 rubbish requests and everything when people hear from the owner and what's going on behind the scenes. Second question I've got here is payment payouts have been raised from 0015 to 0020. Now, I presume that is to alleviate the amount of fees that people get charged if the amount is that because the Bitcoin price has gone up, be paid out all the time. That's to stop people getting charged a lot of fees. That's correct?
Yeah, actually, I've got to thank Claudia for this. She's a remarkable researcher and keeps us on our toes, I must say. You know, Xapo, for example, they increased their fees from whatever it was, their base level, up to 0.0017. Anything less transaction on that, they'll charge you quite a significant fee, which means they're taking money out of your pocket. Your payouts, they're taking money when you're transacting to the Xapo account. Now, Claudia had addressed this on many of our webcasts too, of course. So to minimize so people don't lose money in transactional fees, because the whole idea of crypto is to minimize transactional fees. But these wallet providers, you know, they're operating a bit like a bank in one sense. They are centralized. They're operating a bit like a bank, and they're going to make money, big money on the fees. So they have no problem doing that. So to minimize that, we raised the minimum threshold to 0.002 of a Bitcoin. And therefore, it'll just be an unpaid reward. It'll show there without a transactional link. And once you have a minimum threshold of 0.002 of a Bitcoin, it'll be then pushed on the blockchain payment to you. The best way to get around that, and Claudia will probably address on this anyway, is to really get a hard wallet or something. Get your payouts onto a hard wallet, or certainly a wallet that has no fees when you're getting pay-ins and things. And then from there, as you accumulate, you can transfer from there directly onto your Zappo card or whatever card you may have to minimize any sort of fees.
Yeah. All right, Bill. Now it's getting on to the half hour. You've got to duck off. You're catching up with Genesis A this week or next week?
No, this week, as I said, Claudia's coming as well, and we're going to have some people from the US and also my IT engineer. We're going to be down there Thursday, actually going on Wednesday, but we're there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So a couple of days of Genesis, which is going to be fantastic. So we should get a lot of insights and news and mapping out 2018.
Very exciting year coming up. We're having a Christmas party here in Brisbane. Any chance of you popping in, Bill? It's in a couple of weeks' time. Any chance?
Actually, you know what? I'd love to be there, Keithy. I would love to be there. Get out of this snow. But it's a busy time. I've got. I'm actually going to Dubai. I'm in Munich this week. Next week, the week after, I'm in Dubai. And then from Dubai, I go back to the States for some meetings, and then back from the States, and then it's Christmas time pretty much. So if anyone's in the San Diego region, or Laguna Beach region, or I think it's called Orange County region, maybe we could organise a meeting or something. That would be possible. Actually, you can organise that through Claudia if you like.
Yeah, all right.
I know she has contacts of leaders there.
I'll throw a couple of prawns on the barbie for you, Bill, just in your absence, mate.
I'm vegetarian. I don't eat the prawns, mate. You know that.
Okay. All right. Well, a couple of leaks on the barbie then. All right. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Bill. Your insight's always amazing, and that's why everybody watching needs to really sort of get this information and pass it out to as many of their team as possible. There's a lot of people. You've answered the questions of everyone that's said everything so far that's here to the T. Brilliant. It's going to be an awesome 2018. So appreciate your time, Bill. Well, I'll let you go because I know you've got to duck off. I just want to go to.
One last thing, Keithy.
Yeah,
just
mate.
One last thing. I just want to make sure people, understand what they're getting themselves engaged in here. This is not set in stone. It's absolutely fantastic, but understand the risks. Don't overextend yourself. Don't put yourself or your family at risk financially because you think this is going to be the one thing that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. This interview that I'll probably post, maybe I can post it in this chat and you can watch it. The guy said, really don't. And this guy would be huge in crypto, but really don't invest money you cannot afford to lose. And that's a good philosophy to have, and take some profits when you can, because who knows what's going to happen in the future. So I don't want people to be, there's no reason for people to be hurt with Swiss Gold Global. You can get started from a $30 contract to learn about it, and you can increase that. You can compound it. Compounding is the key, which I know Edward loves to do. I know Claudia loves to compound, and so do you, of course, Keithy. So there's ways of doing this without putting yourself at financial risk. And but of course, if you're not in the game, you can't earn either. But I just don't want people. I just have my experience from the 1990s, the dot-com boom, and I was one of the guys that put his pants down, because I was too greedy on not paying my taxes and this and that. And I thought it was going to be up and up and up and up. When the market changed so fast. But this, of course, crypto is a very different protocol than tech stocks that were just full of air. Although, mind you, many of, I think, these crypto coins, there's over 1,000 of them, are full of air as well in that sense. So you need to be, it shouldn't stop you from maybe playing a few of them speculatively, a very small parcel of that, but you've got to know what you're doing because maybe you're lucky, maybe you're not lucky. And that's just the name of the game a bit. But certainly Bitcoin, Ethereum, the Dashcoin, the main coins are the ones to have a basket hold of, as you do, and for the long-term view. But I'll post this interview on this chat before I shut off. Maybe people want to watch it. We'll give you some good insights. As he was asked questions about, what limit can Bitcoin go to? And he said, really, it cannot exceed the monetary supply. You know, in one sense, you can't have more Bitcoin than what is initial and monetary supply, you know, in a global environment, which is pretty substantial, of course. But maybe it answers lots of questions or give people more understanding about, you know, what they're engaged in here, and that they're actually engaged in a fantastic revolutionary concept.
Yeah.
You know? But thank you. I'll post that here if it's okay, and people can watch it when they want.
Yeah. All right, Bill. Thank you very much indeed. Awesome. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much indeed. Awesome.
Thanks, Keithy. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Edward.
All
Konnichiwa.
right, Claudia.
Konnichiwa, thank you, or is it konnichiwa, goodbye? I can't remember.
Konnichiwa, thank you. And sayonara,
Thank
goodbye.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, Bill. We'll throw to you, Claudia. With these, because some people with the Bitcoin contracts, because they're starting in February or March now, are looking for the other options. So we've got Ethereum, Monero, and Zcash available. What about Dashcoin? Dashcoin's gone through the roof. I couldn't believe it. What's going on? When can we get out some Dashcoin contracts? Do you know?
Yes, we will not.
We're not, no.
No, I mean, you know, that's just answering for the question. Well, Dash, of course, it is, and I knew that. So I actually, I got, of course, Dash contracts. I also have Dash myself. I bought Dash, the coin, when it was sort of $4. But you know, no, Dash is not any more profitable to mine right now. So, so on the mining side, it's not profitable to mine. With that said, you know, there may be some other projects in the Dash. The Dash concept is really, really, really great. I really like Dash very much. I liked it from the beginning. I like the fundamentals behind Dash. I like the way they, like the Dash, like the whole Dash organization, how they, what they do in the space. I like it very much. So because I'm studying those coins. I'm really looking into what is the behind and what is the reason. And so I love Dash. I know Dash is going to go more. So if you want to still get on board, Dash is going to go more. But to our mining contracts, as you see, the Zcash, Monero, I mean, really, really great, give you a great, great return. I don't know if you have noticed it or calculated lately. So you want to own those coins. On the Bitcoin, just to go quick to the big Bitcoin as well, the last 2 times, the difficulty rate actually went down. Did you realize that?
I saw it, yeah, I saw that leveling down. Yeah, I saw that.
But the last 2 times?
No, I just saw the one just the other day. It just went down slightly, yeah?
Yeah, so the last 2 times actually, so really for the last month, the difficulty rate actually has gone down, which is really great. So yes, I mean, hey, if there are no contracts right now, or basically they start to mine in February or March, you know, I wouldn't worry so much about that, because it will be still, we did actually a calculation with all the competitors out there in mining space. If you would get their contracts, if they say, well, because they say a lot, they have mining contracts available, still, if you would buy them in comparison with us, you still would make more money with us waiting till March. And we calculated all the competitors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, do you think, and that's in the next 6 months, that Genesis has gone, wow, there's so much demand for our contracts that they're going to start building mega farms, not just big farms. They're going to start building mega farms or extending their farms where they are to double their capacity or triple or quadruple their capacity. So maybe in the next 6 months, we get to a stage where we can offer the members Bitcoin contracts that are live straight away, just like we did 4 or 5 months ago. Do you think that's a possibility of getting to that stage within 6 months from now? Crystal ball in Germany.
Kitty, they already are. They bought all the Genesis already are. So they already bought all the space which is there for when it comes to. They made the connections already in all the different countries where the electricity is available, where it's good, where it is good to mine. They already made all the connections. They already, you know, bought up all the future equipment in mining, so they're already on that. So that's the thing is, and that's what I always say, the people, they sort of believe the farm is in Iceland and England. Well, yeah, but this is one of the many, 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 many hundreds and hundreds of farms. So yeah, it's just it's the one which is so public, you know.
Well, that's information that some of our members don't really, because on sort of in our Facebook group, the corporate group, and the Swiss Gold Global Australia, there's a couple of groups I'm in as well, and that's I guess the misconception of a lot of Swiss Gold Global members about Genesis Mining, that they think, oh well, they're out of contracts now. Are they going to be out of them again in the next 2 months or 3 months, and forever we'll have to be buying pre-sale contracts on and on and on? So what you're saying is that they're obviously $1 billion buys a lot of computer parts. So if they're buying up from computers that haven't been manufactured yet, they're buying the pre-ordering from the manufacturers to deliver directly to them and no one else. If they're buying they're pre-buying the equipment, obviously, by the sound of it. So at some stage, some critical turning point, they'll just have so much mining available that'll exceed the demand. Do you think that's a reality?
No, the demand will always exceed the demand will always exceed because you got to look at like this. So you, Petey, you buy some mining. Now you want to buy mining next week and after next week and after next week. So one of these mining machines produces so much of an amount of that. But it's not like this machine produces that, but it's keep producing until it's not anymore profitable. So you cannot use that machine again. That machine is reserved for Petey, is mining Petey's basically Bitcoin. So you need to constantly add and build larger farms. It's not like you can reuse that's a mining machine, you know. And this is what those people, they get the misconception. So they see other little farms out there. But hey, yeah, if you're gonna continue selling, well, you need to constantly expand, and you can't reuse that equipment. That space is gone. This is gone because it belongs to Petey, let's say. So I mean, people don't get that. One miner produces, I mean, I forgot the amount, I think 15 terahash or 20 terahash or something like that. So, and that's it. And so you need to constantly expand. The demand will always be so great because so if Bitcoin is growing, and which it is, obviously, I mean, there's so many factors, and which we believe even in 2018 is going to grow so much. So of course, and people see, hey, you know what, it gives me such a great return, you know, I want to have that, even though difficulty rate will go more difficult to mine, obviously, but still, as it is profitable, there will be more demand. That's just the way it is.
So if they're our pre-sold once in March the 15th now, they're still available in the back office. They'll probably get all snapped up and sold within the next 3, 4, 5 days or a week, possibly. Out of Ethereum, Zcash, and Monero that we have available, and there's plenty of those contracts there. I just said I bought 5 Ethereum today because I'm focusing on building my Ethereum up so I get paid every day. But I've chosen to get paid in Bitcoin from my Ethereum contracts. And if people watching, any coin you mine with Swiss Gold Global, you have the choice of being paid in Bitcoin. So all my Ethereum contracts are paying me Bitcoin back to my CoinJar wallet here in Australia. Trying to flash the little card up there. So every day I get an email from this company, CoinJar, saying, hi, Keithy Broom, you have 0.04 Bitcoin, or 0.004, 0.0020 now, the threshold. I just got paid in Ethereum today. Went over that 0020, which is about $21 in Australian money. So I got paid today from my Ethereum contracts, but I want to build those up so I get paid every day in Ethereum. So I'm focused on that and a little bit of Zcash. So out the 3, what would you recommend that people start buying contracts every week if they can to build that up?
I can't tell that. It's so difficult. I like all of them. I buy them all. I buy all of them.
Oh, all of them. So go to the cryptocurrency calculator, and then just keep an eye on what it's paying, and then maybe buy an Ethereum 1 week and a Zcash the next week, and that way you've got everything covered. As the price rises, for those who get a bit more payment per day, but you get paid out in Bitcoin back to your wallet. And then when Bitcoin goes up in value, your local fiat amount of Bitcoin you'll be earning like again by having Bitcoin sit there as a.
But I myself choose to get paid in Monero, and I choose to get paid in Zcash, and I choose to get paid in Ethereum because I like to accumulate the coins. That's my thing. But I understand people want to get the Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin very much, but I like Zcash, and I'm a fan of Zcash. I'm a fan of Ethereum. I'm a fan of Monero. So I like the projects behind, and that's why I invest in the projects. That's me.
Okay. So you take your earnings and then you buy coins from your earnings, yeah?
No, I'm getting paid in. So I'm getting paid
into your
in
wallet,
Zcash.
yeah. So you're getting paid into your wallet. You don't do anything.
Yeah, because in the Trezor, in the Trezor, of course, as you know, in the Trezor you have Litecoin. In the Trezor you have Dash, you have Zcash, you have Ethereum, you have all the coins except Monero. Monero, I'm getting paid in a different wallet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Brilliant.
But that is me. That's just my preference.
Yeah. Well, you're our #1 affiliate, Cloud. There's obviously something going right for you. So any information you can give us is great. How long have we got for you? You have to go to your meeting.
I have to go now. Yeah, I have to go in 2 minutes.
That'll give me and Edward have a chance to chat about funnels and funnel web spiders and all sorts of stuff to do with funnels. Claudia, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on and giving us your insight as yours do. You're going to meet a potential new member, are you?
Absolutely. So no, you see, even though #1, I mean, I know that you are #1. So very soon you're on your way.
I've got a meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Somebody wants to join. They've seen it. It's taken them. It's only taken them 9 months to give me a message, but they've seen my videos and messages, and eventually, bang! They, like Edward, taken a while, but then then they made a decision. All right, let's go for a coffee and show me what it's all about. So.
Well, 9 months is okay, but I'm now meeting 7 years.
Oh wow, 7 years.
Yes. So it took 7 years, but hey, that's fine. 7 years.
At least they're coming around to the good side, finally.
You know, that's the point. You know, you always have to follow up, always follow up, always follow up, always be in relationship, and be good to people, and you know they come anyway back to you. So,
yeah, all right.
With that, guys, I wish you a really great hangout. Rest of the hangout. Love you guys. See you next week from Munich.
Munich. Okay. All right.
I'm trying on Saturday, this webinar for Swissquote Global we're going to do on Saturday. I'm trying to get some of the Genesis guys on the call, the one we do for corporate. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. That'll be great. All right. Thank you, Claudia.
Bye.
Enjoy your day. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay. All right, Edward, it's just you and me. I'll just answer Glenn's questions. Litecoin going to be available, Claudia? She said no, it wouldn't be available at the moment, Glenn. So we've only got to focus on our pre-sale Bitcoin contracts, which are still available. I checked my back office about an hour ago. Ethereum, Monero, and Zcash. So Claudia gave you the option there. You can buy those contracts and get paid in that particular coin, so you can start storing that coin, or get paid in Bitcoin, which is my option, because I like collecting Bitcoin in my account, because I live off Bitcoin. Been living off Bitcoin for 18 months. Edward, what sort of stage are you at? You selling or you're earning in Bitcoin? Are you living off Bitcoin in any way now? And then you've been living in Japan for a long time. Japan's a hot spot for Bitcoin, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people seem to say that, but and yeah, I mean it's cropping up, but there are still a huge amount of people who are actually more skeptical than you find people you know, in the West are. I think Western people that I meet are on the whole more clued up about Bitcoin than people generally are on the street in Japan. So I think I would say it's a bit of a myth actually, but I know that there are ATM machines in Tokyo, and there are quite a few ATM machines in Tokyo catering for Bitcoin. So yeah, there are those around, but they're not really managed.
Coffee shops with little QR code scanners. I know in Melbourne there's quite a few. You can just scan your phone and pay Bitcoin from yours to theirs.
Yeah, there are a few actually. I was over there last week just for a short time, and I was just doing a search. Unfortunately, they weren't anywhere near where I was. Unfortunately, I was I was in a rush, unfortunately, but I wanted to go and find some places and do a selfie. No, but no, yeah, there are some, and there's some sort of small coffee shops that do it. I think they do it. I don't know how sort of mainstream it is, or how they're connected up, and how they can. I don't know how local accountants can allow for that. You know, if they're going to do all their tax returns at the end of the year and stuff. I don't know how that can be allowed or work or whatever.
Well, what I'd like to ask you,
as far as I'm concerned,
what I'd like to ask you, Edward, is that I've known you for a couple of years now, involved in the advertising, online businesses, and your exposure's been probably the same amount of time for me, maybe a bit longer. A couple of years for me now for Bitcoin, and then learning about that over the last couple of years and being exposed to all the altcoins. As Bill said, there's over 1,000 now. There's over 12 or 1,300 altcoins. Yeah. What's been your experience in the last 2 years of how you've come to know about Bitcoin and the altcoins? You've started earning in it. You've used, what sort of wallet do you use? I've got CoinJar. It's only Australia though. And if you go back to Japan, what's a good card or account they use over there?
Well, yeah, I've been using Zappo for a long time, and they have a debit card. I set that up about a year ago now, I suppose, and I was able to get while I was in Japan, I was able to get the debit card, and that was fine. But you know, almost as soon as I got back to the UK, I was able to keep my debit card, but I had to transfer over my my phone and details and everything. But then I realized that they don't allow. I think Zappo doesn't allow people outside Europe to have a debit card, I think.
Yeah.
So right, yeah. I thought to myself that, you know, when I go back to Japan, I'm not going to be able to use that debit card. So I've actually got to look around and research a bit for other wallets to use that have a debit card attached to it. But another wallet that I use is Jaxx, JAXX. Don't know if you know that one, do you?
I've heard of that.
But yeah, so I mean that's a seems to be pretty good. So I have some Ethereum and a few others, but I mostly focused on Bitcoin. I mean, as you know, I'm more of a marketer, so you know, and I suppose marketers don't necessarily need, you know, you don't regard, just because I'm a marketer doesn't mean I'm, you know, an experienced person on cryptocurrency. But so I don't pride myself as being particularly experienced on cryptocurrency, but I've got a lot to learn as well, and I am learning. I'm going at my own pace, but I've mostly focused at the moment. I'm really a bit like you, Keith. I'm more into Bitcoin because that's what I can use at the moment.
Yeah. What I've noticed, and maybe you can shed some light as well, just the last, say, six months has been like a mushroom development of companies sprouting up off the back of Bitcoin and claiming to be either Bitcoin miners or Bitcoin programs, exchanges. They've got matrices everywhere. You look on Facebook, people are just the inexperienced marketers, not yourself, obviously. They're just throwing links up on their page, and you just see, info.
I know.
The amateur marketers go-to word, if you want to know info, just type info.
Oh, yeah.
Really exploded all these businesses off the back of everything. What's your experience being in Japan and in Europe about the development of companies off the back of Bitcoin exploding, and how difficult do you think it is for people to work through what's real and what's not?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I get a lot of people posting their links on my, well, private messaging me their links about a new coin that's coming out or a new ICO or a new, you know, and then they say that, you know, this is, I don't know, a matrix or something, and you can, you know, it's cycling, or there's all these words coming out, and I think, okay, I'm just, you know, I've got to a point where I said, I'm sorry, mate, I'm focused on something else. I'm not even going to bother looking at it. You know, I've given up. You know, they're good friends. And you want to, you know, just help them out or whatever, but it's not really helping them out because I'm just going to waste their time anyway. So I'm just, even if I do look at their video or I do look at their conversation plan or study it or whatever, I'm just going to waste their time anyway because I'm not intending to get involved in those things. So I don't really look at a lot of things at the moment. And I've as far as cryptocurrency, I like to stick with companies like Swiss Gold Global. But as I say, I'm not really a guru on cryptocurrency, and I don't pride myself. So I want to keep that sort of narrow. I want to focus on just sort of one or two things, maybe three, something like that. And they're really just, you know, a good wallet, a good company. We got Swiss Gold Global, and maybe a training platform, that's something that can teach me about, you know, cryptocurrency and teach my team about cryptocurrency. Those sort of three things are, for me, are all I need. And then I can really focus more on the marketing side, you know, getting better at marketing, doing the funnels and helping my team with promoting, you know, what we're doing here and keeping focus on the companies, Swiss Gold Global and other things like that. So that's really my focus, to be honest.
Right. Well, I want to just put you in a question mark again, being a marketer now, marketing.
Yep.
There's a lot of people watching who are who maybe haven't joined a funnel, haven't joined a program like you're running, or just looking on the internet and seeing videos. They're just starting out and they wanted to just start doing things themselves. What are the couple of social media points that they should start immediately to get traction, to get, if they do want to, with Swiss Gold Global as a free customer, you can just invite people to be a free customer and you get 2.5% commission in computer power added to your total for anyone who buys a contract. They might buy 1 or 2 or 10 or 100. All those 2.5% of computer power gets added to yours. So you can build a small team where people just got half a dozen or maybe 10 or 12, and over time and they look after them. What would you suggest for people just starting out? What would you say to them? Right, do this straight away because it doesn't cost you anything, and do this straight away and do that straight away. I mean, three things without putting you on the spot.
Before doing anything, and this is what I did 2 or 3 years ago. My sponsor said to me back then, with the company I was in, he said, you know, get onto YouTube first, you know, because that's going to take time to build up. So, you know, before you do anything, because there are things out there like Facebook that can get you, you know, you can get some traction very quickly. But doing the long-term things that's gonna really keep things going long-term, like get onto YouTube, start building a channel. Getting your followers, getting good at doing YouTube, because it doesn't take, you know, a couple of days to get a YouTube video ranking high. So, but it's going to take, you know, at the very least 6 months to get your channel. If you really work at it, you can get your channel really buzzing and then get some videos up there, giving you ongoing traffic. You know, I've got videos that have been up there for over a year and more, that are still producing a huge amount of traffic for me. And then once you can really learn a little bit about SEO, you'll have videos up there that you can just set and forget and leave it, and then just provide you with ongoing daily traffic. And you can upload videos every day continuously. But then once you've started your YouTube channel, once you're getting the ball rolling on that and you're comfortable with putting yourself in front of the camera or whatever, then you can go on to places like Facebook. And I often say to people, because you know, I mean, I've got about 4,500 friends, and I got a couple of, you know, few thousand followers. Nothing major compared to Keithy, I'm sure, but but
the same.
But, you know,
I've only got 4,800. No, 4,000. That's all I got.
Oh, right, okay. But anyway, yeah. But for some people who have got sort of a couple of hundred followers or friends on Facebook, it's not going to be. You're not going to be able to put something on your timeline and get a lot of results. So I would say build up your following and just go into money making groups, opportunity groups, business opportunity groups, and you can do a search in the Facebook bar, and then look for groups. Just join them and just make friends, and just it's not just about posting junk. It's posting value. It's posting something that that they're probably going to want. That's why I like to that's why I like to do these funnels and stuff, because I know that people want funnels for whatever company they're involved in, and then they can take a look at my primary business, which is Swiss Gold Global, because everyone wants a passive earner and that sort of thing. So it's just initially making that initial connection, whatever it is. I mean, it could be just a PDF report that's taught you a little bit about cryptocurrency, and if you've got the rights to share that out, then people just want to learn about cryptocurrency, and then when they come through your funnel, then you can then they're on your mailing list. Then you can talk to them a little bit more about Swiss Gold Global. So the initial attraction is to try and get them onto your funnel by giving them a free gift, like a cryptocurrency training PDF or something that you've gotten yourself access to, or whatever. Or it could be something completely different, like marketing, training on how to market your business or something. Just something where you can say, grab my free report, or grab my thing, grab this, grab that. That's how you get people onto your list initially, and that's how you can make the initial connection.
What about so that's YouTube, because everyone who's on Google who's got a Gmail account, and when you log into to Google and you're logged in through your Gmail account, you already automatically have a YouTube channel. So all you've got to do is you don't have to set anything out. Just choose a photo and your profile photo, and just start load some videos up there. If you're not quite sure how to load a video onto a YouTube channel, well, you go onto YouTube and type in, how do I load a video onto my YouTube channel in YouTube? And they put all the videos of how to do it. It's so easy. It's like modern day Encyclopedia Britannica, isn't it? The YouTube, because it's visual. People love the visual side of it. And like you hit the timeline spot on, Edward. Took me 6 months of doing videos before I got any traction. I'd get 2 views. I thought, this is an awesome video, lots of content. This is brilliant. I'll get hundreds here. I got 2, And then the next one I did, I got 3. And then once I hit double figures, I thought, best thing since sliced bread. I got 15 people watch that video. But it's still up there, and you end up getting 1,000. I think up 5,000 or 6,000 views on one video. So you get to that stage over time, but consistency. Exactly, so that's the first one. Then Facebook. Any other social media? What about Instagram? Do you like Instagram?
I haven't used Instagram a huge amount, and I keep saying to myself I should really get onto Instagram more. I don't know really why I haven't really got onto that. I think I'm really sure it's a great platform, and I know I'm missing out. So definitely I recommend it. But there are, like, back to YouTube though. When I upload videos on YouTube, there are ways you can connect other social media sites automatically. So when you when you upload you can send them over immediately automatically to Twitter and other places. So that and also Facebook as well, and
that was my next thing, because every time I do a video, it automatically goes to Twitter and Google Plus automatically, because that's in the settings. So Google Plus is another. Not many people use Google Plus that I know of as a advertising platform, but you still get notifications through email when people are posting. So any other main ones that you use that people out here maybe would be keen on knowing about? Just
I would, a lot of people say, I got to do as much as possible and keep it wide, but actually I go the opposite. I try to keep things narrow. Just focus on YouTube, Facebook, maybe Twitter. I mean, the good thing about Twitter, as you say, you can be posting it automatically if you upload content to, but you don't want to get yourself overwhelmed with too many platforms. But the other thing is not a social media thing, but get into the habit of making your own images. There's a really good site called I think I've told you before. My mind's gone blank. What's it called? I use it all the time. Ad Creator. I've told you that before. I think on one of Hangouts. Ad Creator with a K. So yeah, it's Ad Creator. So ADKREATOR.com, and it's a free site where you can start off with a template. It's all ready-made templates, and it's a drag and drop. It's all web-based, and you can join for free. So use that, and you can use the free version to create as many ads as you like. You just download them, and then you can add them to your own photo directory, such as Photo Bucket, which is a free place where you can upload your own photos. I just keep hundreds and hundreds of photos, and when you've got all this content ready to go and they're nicely done, then you can just blast them onto but it's brand new.
What about Canva? Connie on the chat just said CANVA is also free. Canva, you know that one?
What's it?
CANVA, Canva.
Never heard of Canva, but I'll certainly check that out.
Thanks, Connie. That's awesome. It's
Thank
great
you.
to have people in the team help. Now, you know that Swiss Gold Global on Instagram have their own account, right? And they employ a social media person to create images with branded Swiss Gold Global at the bottom, and you get 2 or 3 new ones, every so often, at least 1 a week, 2 a week. You go to the Instagram account for Swiss Gold Global, and some fantastic images. You just download those and use them in your Facebook posts. And
they're nice.
Yeah, so that's good. All right. Well, thanks, Edward. Anything else that you'd like to share with the people just before we finish off on the marketing side? Starting off, YouTube, don't give up, keep going. Get in front of the camera, even if it kills you.
Well, I think people nowadays. I think people say, I'm not a video type person, so I won't do that. But I think that's ridiculous because in the 1980s or 1990s when I was in a network marketing business back then, all we had was phone calling. And I think phone calling is much harder than doing videos. Picking up the phone, that's all we had back then. But But videos, you don't have to show your face necessarily. If you really are, not wanting to do that, you can do a PowerPoint presentation, or you can just narrate your screen. And there's a good software called I don't use it anymore. Was that Screencast-O-Matic? That's the one. I don't use that anymore. I use Camtasia, which is a bit geeky, but Screencast-O-Matic is a very easy software, and you can use that for free. And then you can just record your screen, show people what you're doing. I mean, if you've put in some money into Swiss Gold Global and you're already earning daily, and you can just show people how to go through the steps on your screen, and then you post your videos and just upload videos of your results and get excited about that. And if you keep doing that on a daily basis, or set multiple times per week, then this is the way to start building up your channel. But think a little bit about SEO, search engine optimization. Just which means think about the keywords. What type of people you're targeting, what keywords they would potentially use to search.
Where do you put the keywords? You put them in the title, or in the description area, or in the tags down the bottom?
You've only got really 3 places to think about. You've got the title, you've got the description, you've got the keywords area. But you want to use, for example, your main keyword in the title, maybe a secondary keyword, and you could separate them with a dash. And then the description, you want to put those 2 keywords in there, your main keyword and then your secondary keyword. For example, I don't know, how to make money online, but that's just an example. And then secondary keyword, mining with Swiss Gold Global, or how to mine and earn, $30 a day or something like that.
Exactly. And we've also got the greatest tool in the world, and that's this. It's a
exactly.
It's a,
well,
it's a production house in your pocket.
Exactly, you can use it on that.
When I started my first selling, really direct selling, was back in 1982. How long ago is that, Edward? That's gone.
1982.
1982. I got a job in Brisbane selling stainless steel cookware door to door, commission only. So
oh wow.
1982, so that's 18 years and 17, that's 35 years ago. I had to knock on doors and go face to face with people to try and sell them $1,000 set of cookware back 35 years ago. So it's quite expensive. So
that's not easy.
No.
I think doing videos on YouTube is a lot easier.
Oh, mate, this is a piece of cake. This is I can do this lying down videos. This is easy. Doing this, just wandering around a shopping centre, taking a photo of something interesting with a smartphone, bang, posting it with a caption. Oh, look at the specials on here. Imagine how much Bitcoin you could save buying that, and then what you'd save put into Bitcoin. A small caption like that, just using this. You like the sticker on the back, by the way. Bitcoin, there you go.
Oh, brilliant.
I got these stickers made up in the US, $15 of 20, and got them sent out. It took about 7 days, and they arrived in the mail.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah. So I've stuck them everywhere now. So I've got stuck it on my dog's head as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, all that, and just simply talking about Bitcoin, because yesterday I just simply posted on my timeline about, Bitcoin just hit over 9,000, one Bitcoin over $9,000 US. And I said, the amount of Bitcoin that just by simply owning Bitcoin, I've made quite a huge amount of money. And then all of a sudden, my old school friends that I hadn't heard from since I was at school suddenly messaged me and said, my friends of mine are talking about Bitcoin. The people in their company are talking about Bitcoin. Yes. It's all around them. I mean, if you don't get with these people, they're gonna be asking questions, and they're asking me now because they can see that I'm talking about Bitcoin on my timeline. So they approached me and says, how do I even buy Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? They're asking me these questions.
Yeah.
They know that people are asking. The reason why they came to me is simply because they've heard everyone saying it in their company, their friends, even their family, their uncle or whatever. They're all talking about Bitcoin. So if you don't get with these people, then somebody else will.
So you've got over 4,000 friends on Facebook, correct?
I think it's about 4,500, 600 or something like that.
But for new people starting out who would just have maybe 100 or 150 with their friends and family, would you suggest carrying on with that particular Facebook account and just building it to 1,000 with business people as well as your friends and family so they can see it? Or would you open a separate one and start from zero? A lot of people ask me that.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny you should say that. And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I asked the same question, and I even tried to do that. It just didn't work. I couldn't organize myself very easily, and I just started building up my friends list anyway. And so I've got all my family and friends on the channel. I just keep the one channel on the Facebook, and I didn't start just blasting from the beginning. I was sensitive about how I used to use Facebook versus how I was starting to use Facebook. Now I gradually got into it, but I don't think that's the best way at all. I think you should be proud of what you're doing. If I went back and did it, I think I would have just gone straight in. I don't think you need to do it slowly. I think you can just do what you want to do on Facebook, because this is, and I think that's the good thing about Bitcoin. Back 2 or 3 years ago, I was just involved in a network marketing company. That was it. And I knew that people my family and friends would probably think, oh, what's he doing now? But now with Bitcoin, they already know that people are talking about it. They know that people are talking about Bitcoin around them anyway. So people are not going to be surprised that you're suddenly talking about Bitcoin, because they already hear it in your family and friends already know about Bitcoin. Well, they don't know much about Bitcoin. I don't know, but they hear people talk about it anyway. It's in the news, it's in the media, starting to. So just build it up.
Yeah, it's spreading. Connie said for the videos, you can practice in the mirror. I think it's practice when you get out of the shower every morning, Connie. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Connie's in the Netherlands and Holland. She said people are not easy to talk about these things, but social media is taking over. Well, taken over the world already. 1 billion people on Facebook. All you got to do is just tell your story over and over. But intersperse that, I was told many years ago, if you're posting on Facebook, trying to get 1,000 people minimum as quick as you can. Join groups like you said, Edward. Post positive stuff. Don't go into the negative rubbish. People just want to be uplifted by somebody on their, because everyone checks their phone all the time. I was having coffee at my local shopping centre. Went to get the coffee. I sat down because I was going to have a massage today, which is very relaxing. Have to chill out every now and again. I've got an older body, Edward, so I need to take care of it. I refereed a soccer match yesterday in 29-degree heat, so I was pretty buggered, knackered today, so I had to have a relaxing massage. But at the coffee shop, looked around, and just about 99% of people are looking down their phone. Even two people sitting together, not having a conversation, they're both on their phones. So people are interacting. So build to 1,000 quick as you can, then build up to 2,000, 3,000. You will get interaction, but not straight away. You will get interaction over time, but post a positive, go to Google Images first thing in the morning. Just go to Google Images and type in, look out the window, seagull, and then seagull by the sea, and then put up a beautiful photo of a seagull turning over a beautiful wave and say, wow, living by the beach, something. And then that sets you off in a positive frame of mind yourself for the day. Then something about Bitcoin, like you said, and then something later on in the night, 3 posts a day, because not everyone is going to see just one post. It'll just go straight down their feed, and they probably won't see something for you for a couple of days. You find that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, if you post about 3 posts a day and, differentiate them, something a little bit about family stuff, something about business, something about, a funny thing that, but try and get people to comment. And if people don't comment, maybe put in a little comment, like a reminder or something like that, but don't make it too obvious that you're just trying to bump up the post. Because if you bump up your post every now and then, and it helps if a lot of people do comment, because when someone comments on your post, it'll bump that up and more people will see it. I mean, for example, last week I got, I just announced something about a little bit personal, but a lot of people interacted with it. It was something about, well, actually, and it was a confirmation. I got confirmed in the Church of England, to be frank. I mean, and it was done last Sunday, and about 150 people commented on it over the time.
Wow.
And each time they commented on it, bumped it up, and it was going through the week. And then the next Sunday, which was yesterday, whatever it was, people thought I was getting confirmed yesterday, but it was actually, the post was actually a week ago. So it just kept bumping up onto people's time feed, news feed, and people just continuously commented on it. It just wasn't stopping. So if you don't get comments, try to boost it up yourself, but don't make it obvious you're trying to boost it up, but just put in a reminder or something like that.
Yeah. You almost went viral, Edward.
Well, I mean, yeah.
150 posts, that's 150 comments. That's a lot. That's a lot for a post, mate.
A lot. I mean, yeah. Actually, was it 100? Sorry, I know it wasn't 150 comments. So it was 150 likes. That's right. Yeah, it's a big difference. But quite a lot.
Yeah. Still, yeah. The point is, you're exactly right, and you're exactly right about what you're posting as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've had posts that have had sort of 200 or 300 likes and stuff. I mean, my timeline is not huge. I don't regard myself as a marketer on Facebook. I'm not a guru on Facebook at all. I mean, I learn from a lot of other people who do some really good stuff. But I love YouTube, to be honest. YouTube is my favorite platform.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
very, very good. Yeah. All right, mate. It's been awesome having you on, buddy. And good luck on your way back to Japan. Why don't you put a video out in Japanese? There must be a market there for you, mate. Or you're already doing them, probably.
I mean, I have multiple channels, so I've got some stuff in Japanese as well.
Oh, right, cool.
And hopefully that's gonna build up as well. But yeah, I mean, I was just going to ask. I mean, you were talking to Bill about you're having a barbecue, and I just can't imagine having a barbecue over Christmas Day and stuff like that. So, is that what you do in Australia? Is it over Christmas you have barbecues?
Christmas Day traditionally is around about 30 to 35 degrees.
Wow.
So it's outdoors. You don't want to stay indoors. It's too hot. We don't have roast beef and Yorkshire pudding for our Christmas dinner because you're sweating everything. It's a lot of cold beverages. We have prawns on the barbie. We'll do chicken. We'll do lots of fruit salads. Lots of big salads with crunchy stuff in it, really healthy stuff.
Oh, wow.
More fluids to keep the bloody keep your levels up. And then a bit of cricket out in the backyard normally, or if you're lucky enough, you're going to someone's place, they've got a swimming pool, then you're in the pool for 3 or 4 hours, floating around on one of those lilos, you know.
Oh, wow. Can't imagine, but yeah, it sounds good.
Very, very good indeed. All right, Edward.
Okay.
Fantastic. We'll try and get you on soon again, mate, when it works out. It was great to get Bill on and really get down to the nitty-gritty of the relationship that we have, not only in Bill's company and the way he's running it for 9 years now, but also his relationship with Genesis, and Claudia's input's always invaluable of what's going on. And they're meeting for what, 4 days, you say? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. So today's Monday. So the meeting with this billion-dollar company for 4 days. That's just incredible. So we are in very, very good hands, mate. So that's what everyone needs to take away from tonight. This is a strong, dynamic company right behind there, Swiss Gold Global, building generational wealth. Doesn't happen overnight. This is not rush. It's slowly building, and then once you take off, she's just paying you every day. Part-time passive income, my favourite 4 words, Edward. Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy your Christmas if we don't speak again. Probably will do. It's a few weeks away yet. Try and get you on. Thank you very much, mate. All right, folks, we'll see you again on the next one. Take care and have a good week. See you later. Bye-bye.